You're listening to the Cyberwire Network, powered by N2K.
And now, a word from our sponsor, SpyCloud, the cybercrime analytics leader. SpyCloud disrupts cybercrime by telling you what criminals know about your business and your customers, so you can take action to prevent ransomware, session hijacking, account takeover, and online fraud. SpyCloud constantly recaptures and analyzes new data from the criminal underground, including credentials, session cookies, and PII siphoned from malware-infected devices. With knowledge of the specific exposed data criminals have in hand from InfoStealer malware on managed and unmanaged devices, security teams can respond with a more efficient and effective process called post-infection remediation that fits seamlessly into existing incident response frameworks. Get SpyCloud's post-infection remediation guide outlining the 7 steps for preventing a malware infection from becoming a full-blown ransomware incident. Visit spycloud.com/cyberwire. That's spycloud.com/cyberwire. And we thank SpyCloud for sponsoring our show.
My name is Dinah Davis, and I am the VP of R&D at Arctic Wolf Networks. In high school, I just really liked math a lot. I really enjoyed it. I took all the advanced level courses, and I didn't really know what to do with that. So I went to the career counselor at my school, and I said, I'm really good at math. I really like it. I don't know what to do. And he said, well, you should be a math teacher. And 17-year-old self was pretty naive and thought, okay, I guess that's what I should do. So I went off to university to become a math teacher. And at that point, I was like, well, now I really don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just getting a math degree here. But as it happened, in my 3rd year of university, I took my first computing course. And within 2 or 3 classes of that first class, I was like, oh, this is amazing. I'm like, I love this. And so I ended up working for the Canadian government, and that was my introduction to cryptography. And as it happens, the job was to implement the Bluetooth protocol in C++ for the research team so they could evaluate it as part of AES to see if it was secure or not. So for me, I just found that security and cryptography specifically was this perfect mix of real-world problem solving and mathematics and computer science all combined into one ball of happiness. And so that really kicked off my trajectory into a more security-focused career. I went back to university to finish my last year. And so I did my master's in cryptography, but then I was, looking for a job in 2001 or 2002. That wasn't a good time to look for a job in tech. It was right after the bubble had burst, and I was having such a hard time finding a job. But I had gone to a little security conference in the summertime, and I had met some people from BlackBerry, and that was exciting because BlackBerry was, not even quite a big thing yet at that time. So for the next 8 years, I worked on the bleeding edge of mobile security at BlackBerry on the security team. And it was amazing. It was an amazing ride. I am so glad I got to do that. I had gone to it's called Think About Math, and it's this program that the University of Waterloo runs for girls in grade 9. And they bring them in and they have them meet all these women who have graduated with math degrees, and we talk to them about, what we actually do as a job to show them what kind of careers they could have. And while I was there, I met a lady named Kim Tremblay, and her title was VP of R&D. And right before the event kind of started, I ran up to her and I said, Kim, I want to talk to you after this. Don't leave, okay? Because I want to do what you do someday. So I would really like to talk to you about how you got there. And as it turned out, like maybe 2 or 3 weeks later, we had a lunch and she convinced me to come work for her, where I then got to run the whole R&D team for her. And I am now the VP of R&D at Arctic Wolf. So it was amazing, right? Had I not had that meeting, who knows where I would be, probably still doing something interesting. But it's all about, getting out there and not being shy to talk to people, right? And building your network. It's also why I do everything I can to connect people as much as I can, because I know how valuable it was for me in my career that I just, giving people the intro. You don't have to do a lot for them. You just have to give them the intro to the next spot, and then they can do what they can do, right? You don't need to know how to code to get into security. Sure, it'll help you. It's going to give you, again, like you're saying, a different perspective as you come in. But there's so many things and so many easy starts to go into it, right? So oftentimes you can get like a library card and then get LinkedIn Learning, and you can start taking courses from LinkedIn that way. There's so many courses online. My favorite thing to tell people is to just start listening to the podcasts, because it's the easiest thing to do. And it starts to immerse yourself in that world, and you'll start to see, which stories that come out on these podcasts you get most interested in, right? Which might point you to the direction of where in cybersecurity you want to go. So I think there's a lot of entry-level positions that people can come into, and we have such a deficit in, having enough talent to fill all these roles. I think it's an amazing opportunity. Imposter syndrome is just that, a syndrome. And, I would often feel like I wasn't quite good enough because I had 2 math degrees and not a computer science degree, right? That I didn't know computer science as well as everyone else that I was working with. But I just brought that different perspective. I knew how to code, but I also had all this great, rich experience in cybersecurity that many of my coworkers didn't have at the time. So I think it's really just believing in yourself and going for it, right? Go for what you believe in.
Hey everybody, I want to take a few minutes here and talk about our sponsor, Splunk. You need to keep operations humming around the clock, but potential disruptions are everywhere. Splunk helps you predict problems and find and fix issues fast, so you can reduce risk and ditch downtime. The world's largest enterprises rely on Splunk's unified security and observability platform to become more efficient, resilient, and innovative. With Splunk, you can react quickly, evolve faster, and be ready for anything. Stay ahead of disruptions. Learn more at splunk.com/resilience.